Welcome back to the channel, everybody, for another ESO build video. I'm Fuzzy Juggernaut. Today I'm going to be showing you my MagDK updated version from a couple patches ago. But first, before we get into that, if you like the channel and the content on here, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and push that notification bell to get the latest content from this channel. Now, let's get into it. So this is one of the builds that I used, I don't know, a few patches back. Just replaced one set, but I use this also. I'm sure it's out on YouTube probably already for this build, so I'm not taking credit for it, but I've used this for a long time, especially one of the sets that we're going to be using since it came out back in the day. It's a really good build, good set, works really well in non-CP and in CP. I've had a little trouble in Cyrodiil and IC though lately with some really bad lag issues, and sometimes it works for me, sometimes I can't even play in there, can't bar swap, can't pretty much do anything, and then get like a 2 or 3 second lag delay and then I'm dead. So it's just been a little rough, so I've been playing a lot more BGs lately in non-CP campaigns. So I do have video clips and gameplay footage that I'll be posting in a couple days from this build that's in both CP and non-CP. But for right now, just in the background, I have some BG's footage for you guys to check out and see. It does really well in BG's. Like I said, it's really good non-CP and CP, and I'll pretty much go over all that in about a minute. This is a raw damage build and packs a big punch. You got like 3,500 spell damage, good penetration, heavy armor. The thing hits really hard, dots hit really hard. It's really well rounded, and we're not using a bunch of proc sets to do our damage for us or carry us through any of the matches or anything that you're playing on. But enough talk, let's get into the build. Alright, here we are, let's hop into the character sheet. So overall, not bad. You can pause it to check out the character sheet. Our spell damage looks a little low, but it actually goes up to 3,500 when we're fully procced. A little higher, actually. But overall, not bad. I'm buffed, and we're sitting at 64 points into Magicka. We are running Bewitched Sugar Skulls for our food. Really good food, gives us health, stamina, Magicka, and health recovery. And then I have the Astronaut on here. Now, I run recovery on my heavy armor build. You don't have to do that. Most people, it doesn't work well for them, and I understand that it goes way better with cost reduction, but it honestly works for me, and because I switch a bunch of my pieces out for light armor and heavy armor builds, I choose just to stay with the Magicka recovery, but you don't have to. It's completely up to you. You can put spell damage, penetration, whatever you'd like. On our back bar, unbuffed. These are our stats. You can pause it, check it out. The reason we have a little more spell damage on the back bar is because we have Nirnhone on the back bar staff, which is Batastrand, which I'll get into in a little bit. Then we'll buff up real quick. Front bar, not bad. Sitting at 25k spell resistance and almost 2,300 or 23k physical resistance. And back bar should be sitting close to the same. So we're at 26.5 spell resistance and 24.5 physical resistance. Not bad overall. We got good sustains, good resources. Everything's looking pretty good. Alright, let's head into our inventory. So I'm running Tri-Stat pots. You can run immovability pots or Crown Troy Restoration pots. All of them work the same. Magicka, stamina, health, plus with our recoveries. So it's completely up to you. Our first set's going to be Burning Spellweave. I have an Inferno Staff with the Berserker enchantment on here. I have Sharpen that I put on this. You can go Nirnhone if you'd like, but primarily we're in a heavy 5 heavy 2 light build, so I wanted as much penetration as I could get since we're not in light armor. So I went with Sharpen instead, and we're hitting at 3,500 spell damage already as it is, so the more penetration you get, the better your off you'll be. This set gives us max Magicka, spell damage, spell crit, and then pretty much 473 spell damage for 8 seconds once you put the burning status effect on an opponent, which is easy to do with the MagDK. So it only has a 4-second cooldown, and honestly it's up most of the time, so you're doing a lot of damage with this. Overall, it's a really good set. Then our back bar is Batastrand's Frost Staff. Now you can use this to block with Magicka, but make sure you take your passives out if you don't want to do that. I just use it to block with stamina, so it's completely up to you how you want to do it. But on this back bar I have Shock Damage Enchantment on here with also Nirnhone. So we got increased damage. We're getting Frost, Shock, and Flame damage from the build, which is really nice. A bit of everything. And then The Nerd Hound is actually going to increase our healing on our back bar, which is also really nice. So we get really good heals off this in heavy armor build. Weakness of elements, when you cast this, it's just pretty much going to put a beam. Everyone should know what it does. And it's going to do a crap ton of damage over time to somebody, as long as you keep up on them. Then our other piece is going to be Valken Scoria Helm. This is heavy, Tri-Stat Enchant, Impenetrable. Preferably you'd want to go 5 Impen, 2 Reinforced, or all Impen. This gives us spell penetration. We're only using the one piece for the extra spell penetration to add to it. Then for our second set is going to be Eternal Vigor. This we have Max Magic on here with Reinforced on the chest. This just gives us a bunch of recoveries in Stamina, Magic, and Health, and Max Health. And then it also gives us more 329 Stamina, Magic, and Recovery while you're 50% above, and then 1,000 Health Recovery while you're 50% or less. It's a really good set. Then we're running Burning Spellweave Shoulders on here. Preferably you'd want Impenetrable, not Infused. This gives us we have a Max Magic enchantment on here. Our 2 lights are going to be our belt and our shoulders to get the max reinforcement we can out of our armor. So if you can, make sure you get both of these right here for your light, but you don't have to. It just gives you the best outcome for the most health, the most resistances that you can get. And then, like I said, waist is Impenetrable, Max Magica. Hands are Impenetrable, Eternal Vigor, Heavy, Max Magica. Legs, Impenetrable, Max Magica enchant on there, Eternal Vigor, and then Eternal Vigor shoes, Impenetrable, Max Magica. Then we have Burning Spellweave necklace. I just left Arcane on here for a little bit of Max Magica so we can stay above that 30,000 mark. I have a spell damage enchantment on here, and then we have Malakast Band of Brutality. I put a spell damage enchant with Infused on this to increase our spell damage, which is really nice. That's why I said so we're at the 3,500 mark, plus a good amount of spell penetration. This is really nice. It just is going to increase all of our damages by 25% that we put on an opponent. Can't crit heal, obviously. And then Infused Magica Recovery with the Eternal Vigor ring. So you can go Arcane if you want. It's completely up to you, and you don't have to use Magica Recovery. That's also optional. I just switched these out, and I use them on a lot of light armor builds. So instead of putting cost reduction on here, I just left it with recovery, and I actually do completely fine with recovery, especially because I use this build a lot in non-CP. So it's optional, it's up to you. If you want to go cost reductions, you can. Now, if you want to run it a little different, say you don't have Malakast Band or you don't want to run Malakast for whatever reason, you put on a Burning Spellweave, Infuse, piece of jewelry right there on the ring, take off the shoulders. You can put on Zaan's Light, and then put on a Zaan's Heavy, and right there you'll have a little more crit on the front bar. So you can take that, and then you can put where is it, Cauterize on the front bar, and you can put Degeneration on the back bar. So you can start off with Degeneration in the back bar, and then put also your Weakness Elements Proctor Bat staff, and then when you have that, let's see here, it will take away from your healing on the back bar. You'll be at 32% on the front bar, and then you're also going to have Zaan's, which is completely nasty, and you can just light attack and burn people down real quick that way. You'll still be sitting at really high damage. You won't have that Malakath extra 25%, but your dots overall will still tick pretty hard. Your back bar, you'll be lacking a little bit of damage and a little bit of crit, but overall you should still be able to heal decently nice. I've used it a few times. I just try not to use Zaan, so that's just my personal opinion, but that's another way to run it. Now we'll go into our skills, sorry. So on our front bar, I'm running Engulfing Flames. This is a really nice dot. It does a good amount of damage, and it also gives you additional damage to other opponents with all your flame damage abilities. Maximum of 10%. We're at 7% right now, but when we're fully buffed up, it gets 10%. Then we have Burning Embers. This is also a really good ability. It also heals you too. So you can put this on a target, and when you slash them with this, it does a good amount of damage, puts the dot, and then if, say, you need to heal real fast and you're on your front bar, you can hit this again. You really want to let it go for the full 14 seconds, but say you're like 7 or 8 seconds into it and you need to heal, you can hit them with this. This actually will give you a decent amount of little heal back, and it's not too bad. Then we have Degeneration to get our major sorcery from here. Also puts a dot on them, so we got 3 dots right off the bat that we're putting on people. We start off. Then we have Flame Lash. This is a decent amount of damage. It's not the highest tooltip ever. We're unbuffed right now, but this actually goes up to I think 9 or 10k. It's not the most powerful lashes, but it goes up to 10k. I'm pretty sure, maybe a little higher. But off balance, this also can heal you and does increase more damage. So you get a lot of health back from this, and you can proc this by using fossilize or off balance and all that stuff. Then we have Fossilized. This is going to be our CC. It's undodgeable. Pretty much, it's like the best CC in the game. The damage isn't really that much. We don't really care for that, but we're just using it to stun people and CC them into the ground. Then we have Ferocious Leap. This actually goes to a higher tooltip. I think fully buffed up, it goes up to like 17 or 18k from here. And it also gives you a nice bit of a damage shield too after you use it. So you can use this to finish people off, or you can use this if you're getting bogged down by a bunch of opponents and you're running low on resources and health, or even if you're just running low on health because of our passives, you can hit them with this and you'll get a bunch of health back plus a damage shield and a bunch of resources back in your magic and stamina pools. Then our back bar, running Igneous Shields. This just gives us a little minor shield, but it also gives us major mending, so it increases our healing done by 16%, which is really nice. Pop that, hit Coagulating Blood, which is our next one, and this is our main heal, 33% increased additional healing based on your missing health, also with almost a 10k heal tooltip, which is really nice and unbuffed. And then it also gives us Major Fortitude too, which increases our health recovery by 40% for 20 seconds, which is also really nice. Stack these two together and you can get a really, really powerful heal. Now we got Volatile Armor. This is going to give us our Major Resolve, increasing our physical and spell resistances up by 6k, which is really nice. And then it also does a little bit of damage over time to enemies around you from the initial hit. And then while active, returns some magicka back to you too. The enemy's direct damage attacks against you in melee range. Then we have Cauterize. Cauterize is a good heal. It's not the best, but it is really good. And this also can save your ass in multiple situations. It saved me in a lot. Pretty much can give you a heal, and it can heal somebody else too. You can go for the other morph for more damage. It's completely up to you, but I just like to have a lot of healing because I'm always getting bursted down by a bunch of opponents at the same time. So I got a lot of people coming after me, and I'd rather have more heals than the extra little bit of damage that this thing does. If you do go with the other morph, it is nice because it will pull Nightblades out of stealth though. And this also gives us Major Prophecy, which is also nice on our back bar, so it's going to increase our critical rating, which is going to help with our heals. And since we got more damage and crit on the back bar, our heals are really, really, really good and strong. Then Elemental Drain. This is the proc the Vatastrand staff. This is pretty much going to give you resources back, and it's going to debuff them by putting the physical and spell resistances down by like 6k, which is nice. So Major Breach, and then like I said, it gives you Magic of Steel and gives you resources back, so it's very nice to have. Then we have Ferocious Leap on the back bar. You don't have to use this. You can use Spell Wall if you're going to go with Sword and Board on the back bar, or you can go with a different ulti. You can go Standard, Dragonite Standard, or the morphs to that. I just don't have enough points on this guy. So it's completely up to you what you want to run on there. Whatever ulti you want to run on the back bar, even the one from the Sijic Order would work. Now let's go into our champion points. So, and like I say in all my build videos, these are just templates. You don't have to do how I do it. Just use this as a template and build how you want for your specifications, for your own needs, and how you play. So we have 44 into Warlord, 1 into Siphoner, 64 into Arcanist, 37 into Mooncalf, 43 into Healthy, 37 into Tumbling, 44 into Shadow Ward, 43 into Blessed, 43 into Elemental Expert, 53 Spell Erosion, 56 Master at Arms, 75 into Thaumaturge, so I want those dots to hit really hard. Also, this is going to give us the Exploder passive. 72 into Ironclad. Now I switched my red tree around a little bit. I'm always switching my champion points around if I'm in CP, and I noticed with this character it works a lot better with the way that I set it up for me anyways, than having more into the resistances side. Not all characters it works like that for me, but with this guy I definitely needed more into Ironclad, so I have 72 into Ironclad, 31 into Resistance, and then I put more into Thick Skinned and Elemental Defender, so I have 32 into Elemental Defender, 40 into Thick Skin, and 49 into Hardy. And then I put 27 into Quick Recovery and only 19 into Heavy Armor Focus. I found by having 72 on this guy, because we're so slow and you're taking a lot of damage from people, with this guy I needed a little bit more damage reduction cost for my straight damage attacks that I'm getting hit by, like Night Blades and Sorcerers and all that stuff. So I put a little more into there, and a little more into Thick Skin from all the dots too, with like Unleashed and all those other builds with insane bleed and poison damages. But that's about it for that. Pretty sure I covered everything. If I missed anything, just let me know in the comment section down below. Big shout out to Grimsforge Gaming, Deltia Gaming, and Kirchhoff, and everyone else, including the fans who supported the channel. You guys have helped me get to almost 1,000 subs. I'm really close. I'm like 30 off, so I appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. And just thanks for supporting the channel. Honestly, it does mean a lot to me. So with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next video.